on practical, let's come to the practical impact. In brief, what will be the practical impact of BEPS on the taxpayers from a mindset point of view, on whether they need to change structures, the existing structures, and also what would be the repercussion or the side effect, I would say, or the consequence of on the tax administrations, all of whom have sat together on the table for the last 2 years, and it's not been such a bad experience. It's in fact been a good experience from whatever we are seeing, Rafa.
Absolutely. So in terms of impact on taxpayer behaviors, I think we have already seen some of this impact now, because obviously there are some groups, there are some taxpayers, some companies that are still in denial, like BEPS doesn't exist, this is a crazy proposition, why are you doing this, you shouldn't do this. Then there are others which are more forward looking. They clearly understand that there is a need, both political and technical, for change, and they are already adapting. And they are already adapting these structures. Why? Because in many instances, most of the multinationals, most of the groups, they want to be compliant and they want to be perceived as compliant. That's in their interest. Now, if you want to walk, as I said, on the thin line between what's acceptable and what's not acceptable, I'm sorry, I don't think you deserve any certainty and any predictability. But if you don't do that, you deserve that. And that's where the tax administrations come into place. That's where multilateral APAs should become the norm. That's where tax administrations should be able to talk more to each other. The post-BEPS environment will be an environment of transparency. If you think about what will be the results of the work on country-by-country reporting, the results of the spontaneous mandatory exchange of rulings, if you think about mandatory disclosure rules, there will be a lot more transparency. And that transparency has to be used in order to use efficiently the resources of tax administrations. As you say, the experience was very good. Everyone you talk to is like, this is a bet that was very difficult to win and was won. But what is the challenge? The challenge is now to cascade down the knowledge, the trust that you have in the meetings in the BEPS project from the Director General of the tax administration or of the Ministry of Finance that comes there, until the auditor that goes and audits the company and knows that there are certain rules, that these rules have been agreed by their representatives and they should be respected. That's the next challenge. Capacity building will be key in the post-BEPS environment.
But do you think this trend of increased cooperation among tax administration is here to see? Some people are even talking of maybe a situation where the borders just tax administrations without borders.
Well, we have an initiative which is called Tax Inspectors Without Borders, which is a different one. It's meant to provide help and support to low-income countries in order to make sure that they have enough capacity and enough capability to do their work on large multinationals. That's one thing. Then, will we see tax administrations overall without borders? I don't think so. Tax is still a very domestic issue, is a sovereignty issue, and that's the key. The key is like working together towards coordination actually increases tax sovereignty. That may seem paradoxical, but that's the reality in an interconnected and globalized world, which is the world in which we live today.
India's involvement in the BEPS project, it's been quite active. I think probably the first time India has been so involved and actively so in an OECD project. Do you think that too, in some ways, is a game changer as far as the blow hot, blow cold relationship between India and OECD is concerned?
Absolutely, 100%. The relationship has changed. We have moved on. We started from a lack of trust, I would say, on both sides. And now we are in a situation where there is full trust. There is, recognition that on certain things there may not always be full agreement, but there is respect, there is trust, and that trust and that respect is bringing to the results that we have seen. And mind you, 2 years ago, you can't imagine how many people told me, "You are crazy. You are bringing in all these countries, it will be disruptive. It's already difficult to reach consensus among OECD countries, it will be impossible to do that." well, we will see on the 5th of October.
Yeah, last question, Rafa. How's the journey been for you personally the last 2 years? It's been challenging, tough, exciting, or mix of all this? Must be crazy for you too.
No, it has been a fantastic experience. Like working so closely with Pascal Santama, working with Grace Perez Navarro, Akim Prost, Marlies de Reuters, David Bradbury, like all the different teams that have worked in this area. It has just been a fantastic experience. At times, very stressful, including this time where I came to India only for 24 hours and I'm flying back, but always with the smile, always in an environment where we knew we were under pressure, and that the pressure would last for a long time. That's what's different from anything else we have done before. We have always worked hard at the OECD, but we have never worked so hard for so long. And that's where you really need to get your reserves of energy in order to get there. But as I said, the 5th of October is getting closer and closer.
You had lots of energy and huge reserves, I'm sure. That's why, we've seen the BEPS project absolutely bang on time, ready to be delivered. Last message for our readers, for any message for Taxsutra readers, and especially the delegates who will be attending the inaugural tax conclave of Taxsutra to be held in just about 30 days time. BEPS is one of the key subjects, and of course we have Grace and Marlies from OECD representing. Any message for our readers and delegates?
Well, you get the best of that you can dream of from the OECD, Grace and Marlies, and a personal note to you. I saw Taxsutra being conceived 4 years ago, and I saw the passion, I saw the interest, I saw also the technical knowledge, and I thought, this is going to become something important. And now everyone I talk to in India, they tell me that's the reference website for tax news. So I'm very happy for you, and keep up the good work.
Thank you so much, Rafa. Thank you so much.